Hey, welcome to the first of hopefully many videos that I might do if people think that I'm knowledgeable enough to explain things. I am Robert Johnson. I made this piece that I'm going to throw up on the screen, and I had a couple of people ask me how I did the hair specifically, and if I could explain a little bit on how, one, to get Xgen started without it crashing and burning like it loves to do, and kind of how I got the hair where it ended. So I'm gonna roll this little intro to seem super professional, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so first, get into Maya. I have the actual model that I used here to make the project, including the little example sculpt that I did for me to kind of approximate how I was going to do this hair. But the first thing you're going to want to do is make a new project. I already made one, but it's simple. You just hit new and hit accept. Name it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Leave it all default. I've never changed any of that stuff in my life. But then you'll go to File, Set Project, and you'll go find the project folder that you just made and hit Set. All right. And then, I mean, you can save if you want. I always do Maya ASCII. Let's do one. Why not? Whoops. What did I do? I added like some numbers on accident. Yeah. All right. So cool. If we do that, that solves like 80% of Xgen problems. So then I am going to select the head here and just hide everything else. And I am going to go to face mode. I have symmetry turned on because it's fast, and then I'm going to go to my paint select faces because it's faster as well. And then I'm going to select the geometry that I want to use for my splines to come out of. So for the hair to actually come out of. I'm just roughing this out. That's sure, it's beautiful. Why not? So then we are going to duplicate this, edit mesh, not mesh. Duplicate, delete our history always. Rename that head low and rename this scalp geo. All right, scalp geo 1. Why not? So now what we can do is we can actually make our descriptions. So if you don't have this little window over here, you just have to go into your Xgen tab and then hit this little thing and that'll pop it up right over there. But we're going to create a new description. And if you don't really understand what descriptions and collections are, the best way to kind of think about it is like the collection is going to hold all the different types of hair that you're going to make on your character or whatever it is you're making. So for me, like my collection, I mean, we can just call it like girl because I made a girl. And then the description, I had multiple descriptions. So I did a front and a back and then some baby hairs and stuff like that, but we'll just call it front. Why not? And we can hit create. All right. So now it's made and everything should work perfectly fine. Save it again because why not? But then to see it in action, all you have to do is just place some of these guides, pop that right there. Look at that. Hooray. We have some hair coming out. So that goes over setting up Xgen. And if you do that, you shouldn't really have any issues. I do know that, this is the old type of Xgen, and I know some people like to use the generate and interactive Groom editor here. That actually, I tried that for this project and it changed so much since when I first tried interactive Groom. So I was just like, nah, I'm gonna stick to my old thing. It gives me more control anyway. There's one thing I forgot. So let's jump into that right now. I'm gonna hide this head geo and I'm gonna select this geometry here. And I didn't UV it, which is super irresponsible. But it's okay because we can always go back and UV it anyways. So it has no UVs, and the reason why this is bad is if we try to paint on a mask, like a density map or anything like that, it's not going to work. So we need to get this guy UV'd. Super easy, just camera base, optimize, unfold, go ahead and lay it out. And we don't want it to be going over multiple UDIMs. That's what those are called, UDIMs. So just scale it down ever so slightly and it'll go back into its one. All right, and then now it's actually properly set up. Okay, so this is the actual project that has my Xgen hair in it, and it's giving me problems already. So it's telling me it's mad about the density. There's no path here. So I go ahead and act like I'm gonna paint on a density mask, double click on my tool settings, and then hit save textures and save textures. And then that fixed the density. And then now it's complaining about my good old clumping here. And I can just set up my maps and just put it back. Okay, so I just want to really reiterate that last step. It's really important, even if you're just starting out your Groom. If you're making a map or a mask and you're doing it that way, it's really smart to just bring up that tool settings and hit save textures down in the bottom of it anyways, and then also on the side right next to where the paintbrush is, because if you don't, at least in my experience, that's when your Xgen Groom starts to break and everything starts to go wrong. So it's just kind of a good thing just to hit both anyways, especially if you're doing it this way. Okay, so once we have everything fixed and all of our paths are happy, then let's analyze what we have here. So again, this is the finished Groom, and I'm going to focus on the big curls right now. So I have 5 different descriptions: big curls from front to back, and little curls just on the side here, eyebrows, lashes, and some sideburns. So let's look at these big curls really quick. These big curls are really being driven by the clump modifier. So I'm just going to turn off these modifiers as I go down. Boop. All right, and then we'll build them back up. But without any modifiers, this is what my finished product looked like. Absolutely terrible. And a lot of people would argue that I probably should have curled it myself without having to rely so much on the modifiers. But I think it was okay with how stylized the piece was, and also the fact that the curls were so big, I just didn't want to waste any time. All right, so this is the clump modifier. And let's take a peek at what's going on here. So first, I always adjust the clump scale, especially on the first one. It doesn't make any sense that the first one like is pinching so hard at the tips the way that it defaults. Like that just doesn't look good at all. So if you make that go up even a little bit, it makes it look a lot better. But then what's really driving the clump modifier, which is driving the rest of the description, is the curl, the offset, and the noise. Notice I throw rands wherever I can. Rands are super awesome. They make everything look better. But yeah, so just curling randomly from 15 to 20. I purposefully bumped up the curl effect in the middle to give it some more volume, because that was one issue I had, was trying to get enough volume out here, because the concept had just so much density out here. The other thing, let me just turn off offset so you can see what offset's doing for this, is boop, 0, boom. That's what offset's doing. Offset is really helping me out here. And so offset just pushes the hair away from the clump point, which makes for some really nice curls. And so I just did a random value from 1 to 3. Just makes it look natural. And then noise, of course, obviously it doesn't work the same as the noise modifier up top. Just gives it a little bit of differentiation between the other clumps. But let's look at what I did for the noise here. So this noise is just a very low frequency but really high magnitude noise. And I purposefully didn't want any noise at the tips, because even my hair doesn't have a lot of noise at the tips. It's like that's where it kind of becomes neat instead of at the root. And so the root in the middle really has more noise. One, to give it more volume, and two, to just be true to how curly hair actually works. We have a second noise. That's just to differentiate a little bit down here at the bottoms and throughout. It wasn't necessarily the most important noise ever. Like that difference here to here is not insane, but it just, like I said, gets those tips to spread out a little bit, which that little bit just makes it sells the effect for me. Coil, hooray for coils. So coil here is what I thought I was going to use for the whole groom, and then I was terribly wrong. Um, I made it go only on the strays, and so set straight percentage. I had 5%. 5% of these would actually follow along the coil, and I also threw in a random there. So not only is it like, oh, only the strays, which is random to me, I don't know what 5% of these hairs are going to be, but also they're going to be affected a random amount from half to full on. And then I just did a very kind of low radius because the initial radius is insane. It's just crazy. And then obviously a cut because cut adds a lot of randomness to it. My cut was pretty extreme. In hindsight, I probably could have taken it back a little bit. And then I just wanted to kind of highlight what I did for the eyebrows and the eyelashes. This is a technique from, I forget the guy's name, but I can just link it down below. It's I'm assuming professor at the University of Incarnate Ward, and it just shows that you can paint on some strokes on some geometry that you already brought in from ZBrush, and then convert those into curves, and then those curves can, be converted into guides. Just a really neat way to get your guides on your Xgen Groom like really fast. All right, so that is pretty much it. That's all I really did to get the effect of that hair going. If anyone has any questions, feel free to leave a comment or anything. I don't care. I'll probably answer it because I love acting like I know stuff. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.